Hi, sweeties. How are you doing? Welcome to Nayasim. Thank you so much for the support. Hope you all are doing great. I am sure you all know what Sundown Town is. So, a brother shared a story. He's a trucker. His experiences at Sundown Town, and some people are telling him in the comment section that cannot be true. If you say that cannot be true as a black man, you probably do not know yourself and you don't know your history and you need to go back to school. And if you are a white person and you say you don't know what Sundown Town means, you have to go and ask your grandparents or your parents what it means, because there are still so many sundown towns very operational to this very moment. And one thing I am going to tell black people is that if you are traveling, especially when you have to drive, you have to make sure that you are not driving through sundown towns. Make sure the gas station you are stopping, especially when the sun is down, is not somewhere you will never make it back home, because sundown town is where people never make it back to there. And who are their targets? My own people and other people of color. Other people of color, they might actually not be very, but people that look like me, because your color is it's on their face. I remember 2 years ago when they tried to lure black people to Coleman, Alabama, where they had a Christmas village, and they were telling black people that it is safe, that they can come. That caused so much problem for more than 1 week on social media. You're telling me to go to where I will go and I will not go back home. You must really be high on something cheap. Let's get into this.
Being a truck driver in Florida, let me tell you all the first experience I had of finding out what a sundown town was. It was a Thursday. I was driving a 26-foot box truck from Orlando to Gainesville. So I'm between Ocala and Gainesville, but I got to stop and get some gas and get some food or whatever. But I see absolutely nothing as I'm driving. It ain't no houses, no buildings, just road and trees. I finally find this old-ass Circle K gas station in the middle of nowhere. An old white lady that was helping me at the counter was sweet as can be, nice as hell. Hey, baby, what brings you way out here in these sticks? You just coming to get some gas? I'm like, yeah, I'm kind of familiar with these parts, but kind of not, whatever, blah, blah, blah. I'm going to Gainesville. I'm just shooting through. I'm in and out. She's like, all right, baby, God bless. You have a good one. Get my stuff, go back out to the truck, try to put the key in there and start the truck up. It will not start up. I wait a few seconds, put the key in there again, try to start it up. It will not start up. Don't know what the fuck is wrong. So I call my dispatcher, and my dispatcher tell me to look up under the hood to see if I can figure it out. I'm just like, yeah, okay, whatever. So I say to myself, man, I'm not about to go look up under this fucking hood. I don't know what I'm looking for. I don't know what I'm looking at. I signed up to be a driver. I ain't no damn mechanic. But I'm sitting there for like 20, 25 minutes, so I get bored. I'm like, all right, man, let me just go look up under the hood, see what I can see. So as soon as I get out of the truck, go around, pop open the hood, and as soon as I look down, the lady that was helping me in there comes out in a panic. What's wrong, baby? Is everything okay? Are you all right? I say, yeah, ma'am, I don't know what's going on with the truck. It won't start up, and I don't know much about trucks. I called my dispatcher. I don't know what they're gonna do. They figuring it out now. She was like, all right, well, do you need a tow truck or anything? Do you need an Uber or a taxi to take you closer into town? And I was like, no, ma'am, I'm not allowed to leave the truck. It's a lot of valuables on this truck, and I'm delivering. I can't just leave the truck. I can't just leave it. She was like, all right, I understand. And she goes back in the gas station, but she keep looking at me, looking at her watch, looking at me, looking at her watch. And then she comes back out there and says, well, you don't want to sit up in some hot truck. You can't get it fixed, no AC, and there's nowhere for you to sit down in there. Like, so you're just going to stand out here and just sit in this hot truck? I say, honestly, man, right now, I don't have a choice. I'm just waiting for my dispatcher to hit me back. She said, okay, I understand. My dispatcher called me back and was like, listen, we got a tow truck coming out there in about 2 hours. Just sit tight. I'm like, damn, 2 hours is hot as hell. I'm ready to go. Then again, I was like, it's all right. I got food. I got drink here. The sun about to start going down. It's not going to be that hot, whatever. And I didn't want to go in the Circle K because of how the lady was acting. So I was just like, I'll be all right, whatever. She seen me get off the phone. She ran out to me again, and she was just like, did you figure anything out? Do you know what you're going to do? I was like, yeah, my dispatcher said they got somebody coming in 2 hours for the tow. I'll be fine. She was like, 2 hours? The sun will be down by then. Are you sure they can't figure anything out before then? I was like, they said 2 hours. And she looked at her watch, went right back in the store. Few minutes go by, I get thirsty, so I ran in the store and go grab a Gatorade. As soon as I go in the store to get a Gatorade, she had her back turned, and she was on the phone talking to the police, talking about, yeah, he's been here for a while, you gotta come get him, blah, blah, blah. And I didn't put two and two together until I bought the Gatorade and I left, and I was like, damn, she was She was calling the police. She was calling somebody on my ass. Like, what the fuck? So I called my dispatcher back. I'm like, yo, I don't know what's about to go down, but this old lady that worked at this store just been giving me problems or whatever. When she found out I wasn't going to be able to move my truck, I think she just called the police on me. I don't know what's about to happen, but can y'all fucking shake a tail feather? My dispatcher was like, why would she call the police? I was like, I don't know, and I don't want to find out. Can y'all hurry up? 5 minutes after I get off the phone, sure enough, the police pull up right behind my truck. A black police officer gets out and he asks me what's the problem, asks me what's going on. He assesses the truck and says, listen, I'm gonna have to take you somewhere. I said, I can't leave my truck. Like, what are you talking about? You about to get me fired. He said, listen, I'm going to have to take you somewhere. Get in the truck. Get in the back of the truck. We driving for about 30 seconds. And I'm like, bro, where the fuck are you taking me? He was like, are you familiar with the mall area? He was like, that's a good area. I said, yeah, I'm familiar with the mall area. He said, yeah, that's where I'm taking you. I said, what the fuck you taking me to the mall for? I can't leave my truck. He said, you have to leave your truck. I said, why? Because that bitch called the police on me. I ain't even do nothing. He said, she didn't call the police on you. She called the police for you. I know her personally. He said, in 45 minutes, that sun was going to go down and you was going to go missing. And I ain't say nothing else. I already knew by then. I put two and two together by that point. When we finally got to the mall, I called my dispatcher and I told the officer, I'm like, yo, I need you to tell my dispatcher why I had to leave the truck. And he grabbed the phone and told my dispatcher everything, got on the phone, called my boss and told my boss everything just so I wouldn't get in trouble. The lady was scared for my life. Even the officer didn't even stick around. He like, yeah, I'm just gonna drive you out here. Cause he could have easily been like, well, I'm just gonna stick here with you so nothing happened to you. He was like, nah, nigga, we gotta go. We gotta go. Even when the tow truck guy came and picked me up, I told him where it was at. He put it in the GPS. He was like, yeah, I'm not going over there. I said, what the hell? He said, yeah, I'm not going over there that late. I'll come back and get it in the morning. Motherfuckers didn't want no part. But yeah, this was about 7 years ago, and I swear I think about that shit every other day. Damn near every day. And shit, I mean, because she could have just not said nothing. She could have just let me sit there. And I would have went missing like a motherfucker. The crazy thing is something similar happened to my granddad when he was in his early 20s. He had just got a job in Coleman, Alabama. I don't know if he knew it was a sundown town or not, but it was Alabama and it was the fucking 50s. So racist as shit. Job was just delivering fruit. He would just deliver crates of fruit from city to city, to store, just crates of fruit and shit. He say his truck broke down in the middle of nowhere in Coleman, Alabama. As he's sitting there doing whatever he can do to try to fix the truck, two white guys came by in their pickup truck. They slowed down right next to his truck and said, hey, what's wrong with it, boy? He said, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out right now. White guy said, no problem. Better get this shit fixed by sundown, though, and started laughing and pulled off. And my granddad said when he looked in the back of his truck, all he seen was a toolbox, a rope, and a dog. Granddad said, okay, fuck this truck and this fruit, and went to the nearest train station that was like 12, 15 miles away. Apparently 12, 15 miles wasn't a lot back then. They was just doing that just off the regular. My granddad did end up coming back with his brothers and his friends and shit, though. I can't tell the retaliation story. But yeah, it was real easy to get away with crimes back then. I'm just saying. Crazy thing is when I first moved to Florida from Detroit when I was like 15, he told me, he was one of the first people to tell me, like, listen, you down here, you got that Detroit mentality and you ready to fight, but these white boys out here ready to kill you. So if you ever get into anything with any of them, especially if you by yourself, just let it go, because you in their territory. A lot of the times when you out here in these sticks in the middle of nowhere, just let them have it, because they'll kill you and they will get away with it. But yeah, I don't know why a lot of y'all don't believe me. A lot of the white people in my comment section are naming sundown towns that you shouldn't go to. So I don't know why y'all think I made that shit up. Like, mine was light compared to a lot of other people's situation. But yeah. The crazy thing is something similar happened to my granddad when he was in his early 20s. He had just got a job in Coleman, Alabama. I don't know if he knew it was a sundown town or not, but it was Alabama and it was the fucking 50s. So racist as shit. Job was just delivering fruit. He would just deliver crates of fruit from city to city, to store, just crates of fruit and shit. He say his truck broke down in the middle of nowhere in Coleman, Alabama. As he's sitting there doing whatever he can do to try to fix the truck, two white guys came by in their pickup truck. They slowed down right next to his truck and said, hey, what's wrong with it, boy? He said, I don't know. I'm trying to figure that out right now. White guy said, no problem. Better get this shit fixed by sundown, though, and started laughing and pulled off. And my granddad said when he looked in the back of his truck, all he seen was a toolbox, a rope, and a dog. Granddad said, okay, fuck this truck and this fruit, and went to the nearest train station that was like 12, 15 miles away. Apparently 12, 15 miles wasn't a lot back then. They was just doing that just off the regular. My granddad did end up coming back with his brothers and his friends and shit, though. I can't tell the retaliation story. But yeah, it was real easy to get away with crimes back then. I'm just saying. Crazy thing is when I first moved to Florida from Detroit when I was like 15, he told me, he was one of the first people to tell me, like, listen, you down here, you got that Detroit mentality and you ready to fight, but these white boys out here ready to kill you. So if you ever get into anything with any of them, especially if you by yourself, just let it go, because you in their territory. A lot of the times when you out here in these sticks in the middle of nowhere, just let them have it, because they'll kill you and they will get away with it. But yeah, I don't know why a lot of y'all don't believe me. A lot of the white people in my comment section are naming sundown towns that you shouldn't go to. So I don't know why y'all think I made that shit up. Like, mine was light compared to a lot of other people's situation. But yeah.
Hey, TikTok. So I wasn't going to get on here and say anything, but I have been noticing people post about their sundown towns experience. The situation with Javion McGee is so unfortunate. I do pray that the family find closure. So I would actually like to share my story with you all. Side note, I'm not doing this for likes. I'm not trying to go viral. I'm just trying to spread awareness, and hopefully I can help somebody in the long run. So my story starts back in 2019. So 2019, I had a friend who proposed to his girlfriend, and they were set that October to get married. He proposed to her like that January, that October, they were scheduled for the wedding. So when him and I talked, of course he was like, bro, I want you to come down, kick it with me, share this experience with me. I want my friend to. Originally, so when him and I talked, the timing was bad on just my end. No bad blood. I wasn't jealous. I was just fucked up. Not even gonna sit here and play with nobody. I was just in a bad position. But he understood. My friend understood. Cool, no problem. I'm gonna try to support the best way I can because I'm here in Chicago, Illinois. He's in Orlando, Florida. Cool, no problem. So fast forward 2 weeks before his wedding, one of his groomsmen get into a real bad car accident. Like, real bad car accident. He was hit by a drunk driver, was in a coma, like he almost lost his life. Side note, he's doing good. He's in great spirits today. But at that particular moment, bro was like really messed up. So my friend called me, panicking a little. He like, man, bro, could you please come down? I need you. I don't want to change up this wedding. Like, man, I just need you to come and whatnot. And then on the flip side of it, I also have a few family members in Orlando, Florida. They like, man, come on, bring your ass down here, come kick it. It'll be perfect. You can do the wedding, and then you come kick it with us. Cool, no problem. So I'm like, all right, bro, what you need from me? He's like, man, I just need you to come. Since this is last minute, I'll get your tuxedo, hotel room, and I'll get your flight down here. I'm like, cool, no problem. I'm not going to leave my boy hanging. We got the tuxedo, got the hotel room. I told my cousins, I'm like, hey, y'all, I'm en route, so, it is what it is. So now I'm excited to go down to Orlando, Florida. Well, the issue that me and my friends started having was the flights. Not necessarily me and him bumped heads, but it was just more so like the pricing of the flights were just crazy. I'm talking about the non-stops were close to 1,000, and then the layovers were not only about 750, 800, but they were stupid. It'd have to be like I leave Chicago midway and fly to fucking Seattle, Washington, then come back to Orlando, Florida. Those are the type of stupid ass non-stops that they were doing. I don't know why. So he was like, I'm like, man, bro, don't pay that type of money for me. You got a wedding coming up. You got new responsibilities you about to walk into. Don't pay that type of money from me. I just couldn't. For me, I just wasn't going to do that to my friends. So he like, well, man, bro, how about I get you, not a plane. How about I get you a train ticket or a bus ticket? I declined because I'm not big on public transportation, and not being funny or trying to send shots. I just like to move at my own pace. So he like, well, man, how about I get you a rental car then? And I'm like, all right, cool. That ain't no problem. Go ahead and give me the rental car. So he sent me the money. I booked the rental car. Now, ladies and gentlemen, I live in a small town called Phoenix, Illinois. Phoenix, Illinois. So from Phoenix, Illinois, going down to Orlando, Florida, it is already a 16 to 18 hour car ride. And I did that drive by myself. Okay, so I do the drive, get down to Orlando, Florida, and I must say the drive going there was literally no problem. I had fun, I had a ball. The wedding was beautiful. The next day they did something like a private ceremony for the groomsmen and the bridesmaids. I'm talking about we just had fun. You know, I also took a day or two to kick it with my cousin, so I actually enjoyed my time in Orlando, Florida. Now here's where the story starts to get tricky. I was set to drive back home. Right now it's time for me to come home. Me knowing in my head I gotta conquer a 16 to 18 hour car ride by myself, now leaving Orlando, Florida, driving back to Phoenix, Illinois. So I'm like, okay, let's knock it out, Ben. I get up at like 3 in the morning. I'm on the road no later at like 4:35. So I'm driving. Now this is what I do know. It already takes 6 hours to get from Orlando, Florida to Atlanta, Georgia. That I know for a fact. So I'm maybe at this point maybe 3 to 4 hours into this drive. At most, 3 to 4 hours. So as I'm driving, my GPS reroutes me for some reason. I don't know if it was because of an accident or if it was just trying to give me a faster travel time. I don't know, but the GPS reroutes me. Okay, cool. So now I'm taking this other expressway trying to get home. I see the sign that says, you know, goodbye Florida. Hope to see you again soon. And maybe a mile and a half up, maybe 2 at the most, there's a sign that says, welcome to Georgia, welcome to the Peach State. I'm like, okay, cool. I'm cooking now. I'm like, okay, cool. So I know I'm almost close to Atlanta. And then once I get to Atlanta, that means I got 10 hours, about 10 and a half before I get to Phoenix. So I'm driving and whatnot. At this point, I'm hungry. Mind you, I already been on the road about 3-4 hours. I'm starving. So I get off on the first exit in Georgia, that wherever I'm at. Now, mind you, I'm not being funny. Once again, it's not to go viral or anything. I don't know the name of this town. I'm at the bottom of Georgia. The bottom. Like, I just entered Georgia. I don't even know the name of this town. I don't even know where the GPS then took me, because it took me off 65 for some reason. Alright, so I'm driving, get off on the first exit, gas up my car, across the street. It's a Waffle House. I'm hungry. So I'm like, yeah, let's go eat. Get in my car, drive across the street, walk into the Waffle House. The minute I walked into the Waffle House, y'all, there was a Confederate flag hanging on the wall. When I tell you, my heart dropped to my stomach. I say, fuck. So as I proceed to turn around, this Caucasian lady comes out. And she literally goes this. She said, good morning. How can I help you today, baby? I said, good morning, ma'am. Oh, I'm just here to get something to eat. I'm just trying to put something on my stomach so I can head back home. That lady looked at me with the straightest face, calmest demeanor ever. And it was literally like, oh, baby, we don't serve N-words here in this establishment. So now I'm trying to process what she said to me, because I've never dealt with that type of thing. And mind you, she wasn't loud. She wasn't aggressive. She literally was like, oh, baby, we don't serve N-words here in this establishment, with the straightest face. So now she's looking at my face, because my face then turned up. And I'm like, because I'm really trying to process what this woman then told me. So I guess by my facial expressions and me trying to process it, she thought, oh, he finna act up. I got something for his ass. So she easily kind of put her hand under the counter, and I heard a gun move. Like, I know it was a gun. Like, you can hear, you can tell. Like, she put it like she was ready for me to, like, get tough if you want to. I'm going to put you the fuck down type energy. So I'm still looking at her trying to process. Her worker had came in from the, like, back, because I had saw him outside when I walked up. So he was throwing garbage away. He came in and he looked at me. He looked at her. He said, we good up here? And she said, oh, yeah, we good. This kind gentleman just leaving. Once again, I'm still looking at her trying to process. And then she said, have a good day, sweetheart. Gee, y'all, when I tell y'all I got my stuff, I got in the car and I drove. I didn't even stop to get no food in Georgia. I ain't even stop in Atlanta where I felt safe. When I tell y'all, I literally got on the road, drove all the way literally till I hit Tennessee and stopped and got some damn Wendy's. Because that's how messed up in the head I was. Once again, I just know I was at the bottom of Georgia. I just entered Georgia. I don't know the name of the town. I was literally at the bottom. So I can't really give y'all them details. So once again, I originally started on 65 coming home, but my GPS rerouted me. So I'm saying this, the reason why I'm making this video is to not only spread awareness, but to let my people know I know y'all out here, some of y'all out here getting on that road to make that money. Some of y'all getting out here to go travel to, let loose, kick your feet up, have fun, and that's perfectly fine, whatever you want to do. But I am asking my truck drivers and my travelers, when we are traveling to other states, and I don't care where you from, I don't care if you're from Illinois, Texas, California, Seattle, Hawaii, I don't care. When we're going to other states, please be mindful of your surroundings. Please be mindful of where you at. When we going into these other states, please take the time to like really Google what is like safe for us and what's not safe, because now lately I've been doing that. I want to be somewhere safe. I don't want to pop up in a sundown town. And to the family of Javion McGee, I pray for you all. I really do pray that you all find some type of justice, because you all do deserve that. May that young man rest in peace. And once again, to my travelers, like I said, that want to go out and have fun, and to my truck drivers that want to make that money, please be safe. I'm praying with y'all. I hope y'all have a beautiful day. Just remember to keep your head on a swivel when you step outside of your hometown. One love. I'll talk to y'all.
This is all I got from this video. And why would somebody think that you made that story up? This is not a made up story. I know this young man. I don't know him personally, but I've been following his channel for, I know he's a trucker, and he has told so many stories about his experiences being a truck driver. And there are some that bullet, like, that went so much viral, both TikTok and YouTube. Let me remind you about how he met a firefighter. For those that have been following this channel, if I remind you, you will know how he met a firefighter while driving. He took a break, and he said hi to the man, started talking, and the firefighter now told him about how he was fighting an illness and how he feels so sad about the things he did, and how he let unalive during fire outbreak and all that. I'm sure you will know what I am saying. Anything that got to do with Sundown Town is nothing to be taken lightly, because the fact that people knew that a place is a sundown town, and also why people live there, it's something very disgusting. I remember the day I had a fight with one of my friends. We were talking about politics, and I talked about how Sundown Town, it was like, no, there is no more Sundown Town. People already, like, it was like, there used to be, but there are no ones. Then I was angry. I said, shut the F up, that there are. If there are no, you know how many that I have reported so far? And then that was the day he said that I am a racist and that I have black privilege. So I asked him, what do you mean that I have black privilege? He said, you are African, but you did not come from a poor home. So I said, because I am African, that I did not come from a poor home. Is that the meaning of black privilege? He said, yeah. I said, this is how ignorant you people would. I mean, some people are going to die ignorant, and that is some period. Let me continue with this video. I remember last 2 years, if I am not mistaken, this is 2025, 2024, maybe 2023. Yes. You remember there was what happened in Cullman, Alabama. Yes. I pronounced it right. I hope. That there was like a Christmas village, right? And they were calling black people to go to Cullman, Alabama, to go, to go there, that they will have fun, Christmas village and all that. That thing caused so much fight for so long. Like, it was for 1 week. People were still talking about Cullman, Alabama. And black people said, so you people want us to come to Cullman, Alabama, Christmas village? When you know Christmas village is usually open at night. The place is a sundown town. So why do you want black people to come to where they will be unalive? Sundown town is a thing. I remember reporting so many people that have been unalive in sundown town that never made it alive. Some, they will look for them, they will not find them. Rashidi Carter, how did they find them? Everything disembarked. Sundown Town is not new. It can only be new to people that do not know black history or people that do not know their own history, because there are some black people who do not also know their own history. This is the people that Sundown Town will be very new to. And I am going to keep saying this. The fact that people knew that a place is a Sundown Town tells you how horrible the country is. Because in 2025, people shouldn't be hearing anything about Sundown Town, or seeing Sundown Town, or experiencing Sundown Town. But it's happening. And thank goodness, you can imagine the cops also that came to pick him up said, we cannot even stay here. That is to tell you how dangerous it is. And thank goodness that the woman was just a good person. If she was a wretched deceased person, that would be the last day probably people would see him. And then they will start asking, what happened? What happened? You know, one thing I am going to say, I don't want to be so emotional or something, because I have talked about Sundown Town so many times. One thing I am going to say is, if you are traveling as a black person, you don't just enter your car and move, especially if you have to pass through cities before you get to where you are going to. Make sure you know where Sundown Town is along the way, to avoid it, so that they will not tell story. Is it a thing? 100% it's a thing. I love the fact that he told his story. And anybody that is out there saying it is not true, you must really not have seen anything, or you probably do not know your history. And you need to go back to primary, high school, or college, if you have finished them, to go back and read. And moreover, they don't teach all these things in school. It's something you have to learn from black people, or you have to, you have to learn. I will draw my curtain here. Bye for now.